Guys, happy Saturday. No, I'm not trying to grow a beard. I am out of razors, and I've been too forgetful and lazy to pick up razors lately. So this is what a week of not shaving about looks like. So I got razors today, though, so hopefully I'm going to be all cleaned up by tomorrow. This is an answer to a question. A lot of people keep asking me, how do I prioritize what features to work on in the projects I do, whether it's a draft or high rise. And I've talked a lot about these train schedules. And so let me expound on this a little bit and clear some stuff up. So I've talked about train schedules, this concept that came from, Medtronic. Medtronic was a heart, what do you call them, pacemaker company. Back in the day, they made pacemakers. They lost all this momentum, though. They became this huge pacemaker company, and they lost all this momentum, and all these startups started happening, and they took away, all their business. And then finally, someone came up with this idea of creating these train schedules at Medtronic, which was simply we're going to release a new product every year, every 2 years. It's like a train schedule. I don't care what's on it. There's going to be a product release. You better put something on the product release. And that got them that momentum. And so that's what we do. Every 2 to 3 weeks, it depends on how much momentum we have. If we feel like we've been a little bit low in momentum in terms of getting features out for high rise, we'll do 2 weeks. If we feel like we've been really good, we'll slip to 3 weeks. So about 2 to 3 weeks, we send out these newsletters. I mean, this is our product announcements. We'll send out this newsletter to all customers of high rise announcing, and this is just a rule of thumb, I want 3 features on that newsletter. So, and I want these things meaty, right? So it's so this is what dictates everything. It's not about this strict formula of what is going to move the company. It's yes, what customers are asking for. Yes, it's great ideas we've had, but it's also this deadline. If we're going to send out a newsletter in 3 weeks, what's going to be on it? Jeff Bezos and Amazon do something similar with their press releases. They pre-create a press release before they work on the product to kind of figure out what is going to be in that press release, and that helps kind of fuel how they're going to build the product and what's going to be in the product. Same kind of thing. We decide, if there's going to be 3 meaty things in this newsletter, what are we going to work on? So, if there's going to be 3 meaty things in here, we're not going to announce, the color blue changed on a button, or we moved this link over here. That stuff isn't good enough. So, sure, we can work on that stuff, but someone better be working on something better than that. And it also dictates this idea that if you're 3 weeks out, you can start thinking really great stuff. For 3 weeks out, we can build this really big thing that we've been thinking about. Or, oh man, we've got tons of time. Let's kick off a really awesome thing. But when you're starting to get closer to that deadline, and there's only 1 week out, you start scrambling and you're looking at that list. I mean, we keep a list, obviously, of what people are asking for, ideas we've had, ideas, people on the team have, and you start really looking at what's something really fast we can bang out, since we only have a week left, a few days left before this newsletter has to go out. So that newsletter is this really what do they call it? A forcing function to get stuff prioritized. And you can debate whether or not and this is where people I think get stuck. They're would you work on stuff people are asking for, or do you work on stuff that you think is important? The answer is yes to both those things, but once you add a deadline in this newsletter, that's the forcing function to be well, it doesn't even really matter anymore. What's something fast you can get done? Or if you've got all the time in the world, what's something really impactful you can get done? And again, this changes a little bit, right? I mean, it's just a rule of thumb. So if we've got a big mobile, release, I mean, that's something that can kind of be the whole newsletter. I mean, the mobile stuff is so important. So it's maybe we only need one announcement in that newsletter, or big features when we announced broadcast in high rise, which was this big email marketing feature that kind of replaces MailChimp for a lot of folks. That's huge. Maybe we announced one tiny little thing. Maybe we didn't even announce anything. I don't even remember. But that's it. That's that driving force for us, is that newsletter. Other things, that the conversations that forces is okay, we have 3 weeks, who's working on what? Yeah, we plan some longer term stuff out, the mobile work takes forever. In my experience, the mobile stuff is the hardest stuff to predict. You think it's going to take 2 weeks, it takes 2 months. And so like you start slotting engineers like, oh, this, these engineers are kind of working on some of that unpredictable stuff. Who's available for these 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week, whatever you've got left. And that just, again, forces you to kind of figure out like, well, what can that one person do versus, if there's 3 people that are available and there's, 3 weeks left, man, that's a lot of stuff you can get done, or some really big stuff you can take off. That's it. I don't understand why more people don't really work like this. Like I've worked in organizations that are just kind of like, oh yeah, let's work in sprints, or let's work in this. Let's try to get this done. I don't know. How long is this taking? I don't know. It's taking a month. Maybe we'll get it out next month. Start sending out this regular newsletter to your customers and let them know like what's going on in your business. It's going to force you to figure out really fast good stuff to be working on, and stuff's not going to drag out, and the stuff that's dragging out is going to get kind of like left behind for things that can get done. I think more organizations should do this. So set up a newsletter, a recurring newsletter to your customers that are going to announce new stuff, new products, new features, and you're going to find it's going to drum up a ton of momentum in your business. That's it. I hope you guys are having an awesome holiday. I am. Things are good here. It's been a really fun holiday for us. And yeah, I hope you guys, let me know. Let me know down below. Like, you got any Gearish says, this is a value add vlog. Thanks, Nathan. You are welcome. Thank you so much for watching these. Gearish has been a fan for a while. I really appreciate the continued support on this thing. If you guys need anything, please add comments below. Email me. I'm just at nate.cotney, K-O-N-T-N-Y, @gmail.com. I'd love to answer your questions. I'll answer them privately if it's something really sensitive. If you don't say it's sensitive, I'll answer it on this vlog. Anything you got. You got products, you got features you want to show me, you want my input, link them away, send them over email, and I will be happy to review them or give you any insight I can. So, guys, thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.